This really? This go time now? Welcome to our great. So it's good to know technology is working in the age of COVID and pandemic. So welcome to our 2020 Top 7 Under 40 Whatcom Young Professionals. It's a collaboration between the Bellingham Regional Chamber of Commerce and Whatcom Young Professionals. And this is going to be really interesting because I know the camera is here, but I can see our top 7 amazing young professionals over here. So just like we've all been doing for the last 8 months, my camera is going to be here, but I'm going to be talking to this thing. So hopefully we're all good to go with that. And so we just want to say congratulations is really what this event is about, and saying what a wonderful group of 7 finalists that we have this year. And over the last 5 years, we've had the opportunity to celebrate our top 7 in person, just with so many other things. This year we're going virtual, and it sounds weird to say this, but I'm thankful because our 7 are so amazing. I had the privilege and honor of interviewing all of them, all of you, because I can see all of you right here. I guess that was about 3 weeks ago, and to get to know all of you a little bit better was truly amazing and my pleasure. Want to give a little bit of an agenda explanation. So, what we're here tonight for is to really honor and celebrate the top 7. So the bulk of the program tonight will be the video profiles of each of the top 7. We'll get to that in a little bit. But we want to go through so you know kind of what to expect. It's right about just after 6 o'clock, and so our hope is to have the whole show done in about an hour so you know how to plan your night. This event would not be possible without some amazing partners and sponsors. And we want to thank our sponsors. We've got First Federal, who I think this is the 5th year that they've sponsored the top 7 under 40. And so Troy is in the house, and we'll get to him in a few minutes to hear from him. But First Federal has stepped up since the creation of this event. So we appreciate them stepping into the, let's call it, virtual format with us. And additionally, Science Plus has been our sponsor for Young Professional of the Year for a handful of years now, and they stepped in and said, we want to continue to support honoring our young professionals. You know, I know the team there, and Sydney is an amazing young professional herself, who I expect to see in one of these upcoming top 7s through the next few years. So we also want to thank U.S. Bank. Mike and his team are amazing, and they said, how can we help? And they wanted to sponsor some of our virtual events through 2020, so we appreciate their team stepping in. And last but certainly not least, Puget Sound Energy has stepped up as a sponsor as well, and they stepped up big in other ways this year. They are helping to fund and sponsor our collaboration with the Opportunity Council, with the Northwest Child Care Center, the Business Expansion Center. And so we appreciate Puget Sound Energy and all that they do for our community. Now, some of you may be asking, how do you get to a top 7? And the work, the energy, the effort, the arguing, there wasn't any arguing, not this year, maybe a couple of years ago, for our selection committee. And we want to acknowledge our selection committee at this time. So we have, first up, who you'll hear from in a little bit, Olivia Jelinski of Whatcom Young Professionals and a top 7 alum. We have another Young Professional Advisory Committee member along with the top 7 alum, Allison Farrar. We have Joanna Doyle from Peace Health. We have Chris Roselli of Western Washington University, also a Chamber Board member. We have Rachel Myers of the Whatcom Community Foundation. We have Brian Heinrich of the City of Bellingham. And we have, again, it's gonna be like a Guy and Troy show here in a little bit, but Troy Wills, First Federal, our presenting sponsor, also a Chamber Board member, and also an original Whatcom Young professional, as am I. And so, last but certainly not least, even though I think I just said that, we had Gurpreet Dillon, also of Peace Health. Gurpreet was the 2019 Young Professional of the Year, also a top 7 alum. So that was your selection committee. They made the hard choice to take the 40 or so completed applications and narrow down to the 7. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce Olivia Jelinski of Whatcom Young Professionals, and again, also top 7 alum, committee member, all around Whatcom County rock star. So Olivia, take it away.
Thank you. As Guy said, my name is Olivia Jelinski. I'm the Director of Operations for the Ben Kinney Real Estate team, and I have the honor of being on the screen with these incredible individuals, not standing up at the front with them like I typically would be in normal years, because I am on the advisory council for the Whatcom Young Professionals, and I've also been a part of the production of this event since its inception, like Guy said, 5 years ago. Seems like so long at this point. Whatcom YP, we are a program of the Chamber, and we serve to connect and develop young career-focused individuals in Whatcom County. We offer valuable networking through social events and community involvement opportunities that inspire growth in our members. Although we have had to shift to online content this year, like everyone else, we have come up with some pretty cool concepts. And membership is just $50 a year, which I believe is the best deal in town. And if you'd like to learn more, you can reach out to me directly, or you can visit whatcomyp.com. And speaking of Whatcom YP, I want to give a shout out to Allison Farrar on our member engagement committee, and she was a huge part of making this virtual event special for our winners this year. She was really committed to ensuring that this group got a uniquely special experience, even though it's a lot different than what we've seen in the other years. And as a part of that, she hand-delivered some exceptionally curated gifts to our winners filled with donations from our community. And I want to take a moment to thank all the people that really generously donated to those gift baskets. They include Brandon Nelson Partners, CPI Plumbing, Barron Heating, Walker Group Ventures, The Racket and the Shakedown, Cakes by Emily, Brisk Manufacturing, The Greenhouse, The Inn at Linden, Northwest Corner Goods, Chuckanut Health Foundation, Lydia Place, WeQ, Posey by Natalie, 2020 Solutions, Whatcom YP, and the Bellingham Regional Chamber of Commerce. So it sounds like those are some pretty impressive gift baskets that you all got, and I hope that they're a part of making this night special for you. And tonight we're here to celebrate the 38 amazing individuals that were nominated for the top 7 under 40 this year, as well as the 7 selected as the winners this year that you see here on the screen with Guy and I. It was an honor to be a part of recognizing you all, as well as just the honor to live and work in this community alongside you. And while their faces are on the screen with me, I'd like to formally introduce you to them in alphabetical order, your 2020 top 7 under 40. We have Aaron Nelson, Aileen Prada, Brad Barron, Claire Cummings-Bogle, Elke Stevens, Heather Flaherty, and Paulina Ansack. I would now like to turn it back to another who has been so instrumental in the longevity of this program, the only person on the program committee that has stuck it out with me all these 5 years, and an incredible supporter of the young professionals in our community, Mr. Guy Acciagrasso.
Wonderful. Thank you, Olivia. Are we good to go on the mic? Okay. So I'm probably, I don't know if it's I'm the only one that can deal with you, but it's probably more likely you're the only one that can deal with me. And I would say Troy has also kind of been super engaging in this process too. So thank you so much. And now it's really what the night is about, and it's the unveiling of the video profiles. And so again, we did this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had the distinct pleasure of interviewing each of you. And so I'm looking at Brian here. We're good. I think I'm breaking the 4th wall or 3rd wall or whatever that's called. I don't know. I think we're ready to roll the clip. So ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 top 7 under 40 Whatcom Young Professionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name's Guy Chigrasso. I'm President and CEO of the Bellingham Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we're here to celebrate young professionals in Whatcom County. We're joined with Elke Stevens, one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40. And as part of this, we always ask everyone to give your professional elevator speech. And so traditionally it's 60 seconds. We're hoping we can maybe get a little shorter to 30 seconds, but we'll do what we do.
I'm Elke Stevens. I am the controller and co-owner with two other wonderful partners of Ethos West Construction. We are a general contractor who mainly focuses on custom residential and commercial light commercial construction here in Whatcom County. And really our focus is just about people. I think we have a service-based business that we get the opportunity to care for our team, connect with clients, really learn about their stories, work with wonderful designers and subcontractors in our community, and then ultimately care for our community in that way. And so that's what we're doing here.
How would you describe a good life?
Living simply, working hard, but having fun while we work, and doing what we love, hanging out with friends, eating good food, drinking good beer, running on our trails, getting out into nature, and and then giving back to our community.
What moment has defined you up to this point in your life?
I can't say that there's one particular defining moment, but I think a collection of experiences and mostly people and opportunities that have come along the way that have supported, loved, encouraged, challenged, all those things in me to get where I am.
What skill would you like to master?
I think just continually growing in my accounting and owning a business and really never stop learning more and becoming better at that. I would like to maybe learn how to teach or coach so that young aspiring accountants or future business leaders that I could lift them up and kind of be a mentor to them someday.
How do you define professional success as we look into 2021?
I think professional success really looks like people passing our name along to their friends and family. If somebody recommends Ethos West, I can't think of a better compliment. And it takes a lot of trust for somebody to let us into their home, into their lives. We don't take that lightly. It speaks volumes. And I think that is a way that we can continue to grow, and hopefully that spurs, that we can hire more people and all the things that kind of spur from that. But we really value that word of mouth, and I think it's the best marketing that we could ever ask for. And so I think to get that compliment or accolade would be and continue to, because we have gotten a lot that's kind of helped get us through the pandemic and things thus far. And so it's really a way that I think we can see that success and continue it forward.
Awesome. Well, Elke, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations again on being a wonderful young professional. I would say a wonderful professional in our community.
Yeah, it's an honor.
But also one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Welcome. We're here with Aaron Nelson of 2020 Solutions. Congratulations on being Top 7 Under 40 for 2020. Interesting name alliteration there. And so thanks for being here today. And as a valued chamber member, a longtime chamber member, you're aware of our networking breakfasts events that happen. And so when I ask you for your elevator speech, you could probably get that to us.
Definitely could. I've given it many times, though it's always evolving.
Right?
As we grow and develop, we recognize how we can make a bigger impact on our community. So,
Yeah. Let's hear your elevator speech.
I oversee the 2020 Cannabis Solutions stores in Bellingham. We are consistently voted Best of Bellingham and Best of the Northwest. We recently were awarded the Best of the Northwest Gold, with the North Sound Living. And in 2019, we were actually awarded the Small Business of the Year through the Bellingham Regional Chamber of Commerce. And we provide a comfortable cannabis experience for anybody looking to discover their journey with cannabis. And we strive to provide an exceptional experience, whether you are a longtime cannabis consumer or you're starting to explore CBD or other cannabis products for the first time. Our bud tenders are trained to ask questions to uncover what you're looking for rather than just making suggestions based on their experience. It's important to us that they tailor your experience to what you're looking for.
How would you describe a good life?
Being grateful and expressing gratitude for the things you have, and anything that you desire can be yours.
I got goosebumps on that one. That's a great answer. What moment has defined your life up to this point?
The birth of my son
Yeah?
10 years ago. It's really that defining moment to bring life into this world.
Yeah.
It's a really inspiring thing.
It is. It is. Thank you. What strategies do you use when making big decisions?
I always assess the radial impacts. So when we're making decisions for our business, we ask, is it good for the consumer, our guest, our customers? Is it good for the team that's going to be dealing with those decisions? And is it good for the business lastly?
What makes you you?
My commitment to being true to myself, being the best version of myself, because no matter where you go, there you are.
As one of our top 7 under 40 for this year, add it to the list of accolades that you and your team have received over the last few years, is we look to our leaders for hope, for guidance, for perspective sometimes. And so when you look into 2021 and beyond, how are you going to define professional success?
The first step is to make sure that you're not doing things to win awards, but rather to have the best contributions you can to your team, your community, your family, and the world around us. And just being the best you can be, being intentional about what you're doing. We strive to recognize that nobody's perfect, but we can definitely achieve excellence.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for, again, letting us put another feather in your cap. Mr. Aaron Nelson, one of our 2020 top 7 under 40, so deserving, and thanks so much for being here.
It's truly my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here with Alini Prata, one of our 2020 top 7 under 40. So Alini, thank you so much for joining me today. What would be your professional elevator speech?
My name is Alini Prata. I am the Executive Director of the Whatcom Peace and Justice Center, a small nonprofit and community hub and resource center for an intergenerational community of activists in Whatcom County. At the center, I'm responsible for overseeing all of the activities, from running the programs of alternatives to military service, to running our educational events, overseeing our interns and other volunteers. I'm also responsible for fundraising, bookkeeping, community relationships, direct action, you name it. I have been a grassroots organizer and activist since I was 13 in Brazil, where I'm originally from. And I'm a graduate student at Western Washington University, where I study scientific policies in Brazil and in Peru, and how they affect the kind of research that gets done.
It's one of the interesting pieces that I don't think we talk about a lot in broader community development, is the important role activists have. How would you define a good life?
A good life is one lived with community, with like dignity, right? Like without being just in survival mode. A good life is one lived in abundance and wealth, but not of money, and more of like resources and time well spent and joy. It's one lived with a lot of dancing and gathering and music and good food, healthy food, and one lived with a lot of care for ourselves and for each other and for the earth.
What skill would you like to master?
I want to learn roller skating. I would like to be better at public speaking and not feel the dread every single time. And maybe learn French or Italian.
What's the best way to start a day?
With coffee?
Great. Done. Quick and easy. What makes you who you are?
That is a really difficult question. I think that one of the things that's really special about my upbringing might be just that I was raised primarily by these three amazing women that I call my three moms. It's my mother, my godmother, and my other mom's sister, who I call grandma because I was born the date of her birthday and she really wanted grandkids. And they were really like strong-willed and hardworking and came from a very poor and working class background. My mom was the only one to finish high school and then to go to college. And they had really clear rules in their house too of you don't put people down to make yourself feel better. You don't play tough in my house. That was not a thing in my house. And they I think kind of prepped me up to be a feminist thinker and activist in many, many ways, and also had more than just the three of them. They were really big on community. So every 15 days there'd be a huge barbecue with my family and the entire neighborhood. So I always learned that kinship and community go beyond blood, but are essential. So I think that was a big part of it. And of course then my ancestors, right, and all the opportunities and privileges that I've had in accessing education, being curious, and also being lucky in many ways.
So as you look into 2021 and beyond, how will you define professional success?
I wanted to start by first saying that leadership, it's such a weird concept. I spent most of my application just pretty much writing an essay about how the concept of leadership is problematic. A lot of the work that is done in our community is done by our community, and I think that should be a part of what we think about when we think about success and when we think about the future, to really bringing up the invisible labor of care, the invisible labor of relationship building, of peacemaking, of reconciliation, the labor of love for the earth, and celebrating and learning from our differences. And I think that should be a really important part of how we define success in terms of professional life. I think I feel really privileged because my mom and my family, who are my biggest reference of professionalism, didn't really have the same chances that I had of choosing to do work that is not paid that well because no profit work, but my professional choices are related to community care and to the things that are important to me and that make my life dignified and full. And I don't know if all people can say that, about the position that they're in and the choices that they have to make on a whim. And a lot of that was luck, but a lot of that was also unpaid labor, and that's a privilege, right? Not everyone gets to do that. So yeah, just I think a part of beginning to understand professional success in our future is to understand how a lot of the labor that is invisibilized and unpaid should be acknowledged and should be a part of how we see ourselves as full human beings beyond the capitalistic expectations of burning ourselves up.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being here. You're a great conversationalist. I kind of forgot that we were in this setting.
That's my coping mechanism. I'm so nervous.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you so much for being here and being what I'm going to say is a great representation of our top 7 under 40.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We have the pleasure of introducing Brad Barron, one of our top 7 under 40 for 2020. Brad, thank you so much for being here. So what would be your professional elevator speech?
We're a company that has a mission of improving lives, and we do that through providing heating, cooling, electrical and plumbing services through 5 counties: Whatcom, Skagit, Island, Snohomish, and San Juan. Our mission, improving lives, boils down to 3 different pillars. And those pillars are comfort, health, and energy. So we're looking to improve our customers' comfort, their health, and their energy, but more specifically, energy efficiency. We take a beyond-the-box approach, so we're different than other contractors. We're a service provider. The beyond-the-box approach looks beyond just the equipment and the garage, attic, crawl space, we're performance driven, right? We take a look at the whole house, the building envelope, whether that's HVAC, electrical, plumbing. At the end of the day, our core values are people first, so we're trying to make sure that our customers, both externally and internally, can achieve their goals. So whether that's comfort, health, and energy goals for a customer externally, or internally, a team member wanting to take that next step, we want to be able to provide those opportunities for team members. We take pride in the fact that we have industry-leading pay and benefits at Barron. I think we live by the mission in Whatcom County of taking care of our team members, making sure they have living wages. We pay a $15 an hour minimum wage to someone that has zero experience. And we take pride in that. And we have people in the field earning six figures. And that, I think that's a testament to our brand.
What's the best part of the Bellingham region?
Two-part answer. I think the obvious one, and it's a beautiful sunny day today, would be when it is sunny out. But I'm actually even a fan of the rain. But when we're able to get outside and experience the outdoors, I think that's something that makes the Pacific Northwest a really desirable place to live and grow, whether that's personally or professionally, raise a family. I'm an avid skier, both snow and water, so the mountains and the lakes are a huge plus. My wife and I love to camp and explore the San Juan Islands. I think outdoors is a huge part of that. And I think the other side of things too, and one of the reasons that we were drawn back, I lived in Seattle for 10 years prior to the last 4 being back in Bellingham. And one of the things that drew us back is the community and the fact that it has a small town feel, even though we're like 90,000 residents now. And I think that you can't find that everywhere. I spent a number of years prior to coming to Barron working as a multi-state territory manager. And when I did that, I traveled to a lot of beautiful places, Alaska, Idaho, Montana. But the feel of the community here, no, you can't find that anywhere else.
Yeah, it's certainly special.
Yeah.
What makes you who you are?
I think that when it comes to who I am who I'm in relationship with. I think very much so I'm about relationships. And I think that the word that I come back to, and it's something that I've really discovered to be very powerful later on in life, is making sure that those relationships are authentic. I think at times, and especially with social media and the ability to be someone else potentially online, we lose some authenticity potentially. And I think that when it comes to me, and especially in the later years in my life, realizing that being authentic, being vulnerable, humbling yourself when you're wrong, those things are what create relationships that matter and that mean something. Life is pretty lonely if you do it by yourself, and it's very lonely if you don't do it authentically, I think. If you were to ask someone that knew me, whether it was work or whether it was personal, direct, authentic, vulnerable, humble, I think that hopefully would be things that people would use to describe me.
How will you define professional success looking into 2021?
I think if I had to summarize success, or at least break it down, I think that professionally speaking, culture within the workplace, I think, is a litmus test for professional success, because if you can take care of your team members and you can make sure that they have paths forward to grow and succeed, and you invest in them, like you said, mentor, invest in them, I think that that is something that will yield success. I'm a huge fan of serving others. I say that as in, when you serve others, I think that in turn you're able to achieve your own goals as well. So at Barron, we definitely set up systems where we have the ability to train, equip, and serve our team members to grow. So culture, how people feel within an organization is just, it trickles out right into the community. And whether you have your internal customers, your team members working with your external customers, or they're volunteering, or they're doing something else, if they're taken care of, you succeed professionally when they succeed. And I think that to me is professional success, helping others succeed, swinging the sword for them, and serving others.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations again on being one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40.
Thank you very much.
It is a great recognition to what you bring to this community and your team, and so thank you for being a great leader serving our community.
Well, it's an honor. Thank you very much, Guy.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here to recognize one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40 finalists, Claire Cummings-Bogle. So Claire, thank you so much for being here and joining me today to chat a little bit more about you. What would be your elevator speech?
So my elevator speech is I am the trash-talking, waste-fighting, garbage gal, otherwise known as the Waste Programs Manager for Bon Appetit Management Company. Bon Appetit's not the magazine. I always have to tell people that. We're an on-site restaurant company that feeds colleges, universities. We feed corporate campuses as well as museums throughout the country. And my job within the company is to work with our chefs and managers to prevent and reduce food and packaging waste. So I've worked on all kinds of programs, both in our kitchens and cafes, but also up our supply chain to, work with farmers to save ugly fruits and vegetables from getting thrown out. I've developed a patent-pending app to track our waste in our kitchens, and I've worked with our chefs to recover wholesome food that would otherwise go to waste.
Great. What's your favorite part, or what makes the Bellingham region so great?
So I think that answer changes depending on the season. A few weeks ago I was mushroom hunting, and a few weeks from now I'll be out in the snow. I'll be in the spring, picking flowers in Skagit Valley. So it really depends on the season, but this area is just gorgeous and beautiful and has so much to offer.
So we've all kind of been through this pandemic over the last many months, year. What's been your greatest silver lining of the pandemic?
I think it's a privilege even to just pull out a silver lining, right? There's a lot of people who have suffered greatly, who have lost loved ones. That in and of itself is probably my silver lining, which is that this experience has helped me really prioritize and recognize what matters and what's important and what I value.
Let's say you have a big decision to make. What strategies do you use?
I'm a big list person. I, of course, love a good pros and cons list.
Yeah.
However, I could reason my way to any answer. And so at the end of the day, I feel like I really just have to settle in, get quiet, and listen to my inner knowing, my gut, whatever you want to call it, that voice inside your head that just, I think, often knows the right answer.
So as you're looking into 2021, how will you define professional success?
I really think a lot of 2020 has been about just survival, like getting through it. I hope for 2021 that there's more thriving that happens. Success would look like listening to my needs and really honoring what it is that I feel is important in a given moment, in my work, and pursuing that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and chatting with me. It was great to get to know you a little bit better. And again, congratulations on being one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor.
And next up, we have someone that I've had the privilege and pleasure to get to know over the last couple of years, Heather Flaherty, one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40. Heather, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
What would be your elevator speech?
My name is Heather. I currently am the Executive Director of the Chuckanut Health Foundation. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, went to Western Washington University, earned my Bachelor's of Science degree in Community Health, worked at the hospital, and while I was at the hospital, went back and got my Master's in Business. And I'm very fortunate. I've had a lot of great opportunity to work on very meaningful projects in Whatcom County, meaningful to me, and now I work at this amazing health foundation.
So now to the lightning round question. What's the best part of our Bellingham region?
Oh my goodness, how to pick what the best part of our region is? I would say absolutely the people you get to work with and get to meet, the community, and then the beauty of where we live. The ocean, the mountains, the opportunity to go hiking, and it's just an amazing place to live.
What's the best way to start your day?
Coffee. The best way to start your day is with coffee, absolutely, hands down.
Well, good thing you live in Bellingham
I know,
then.
it's easy to do. But I really, when I can, I love to start my day with some sort of walk, some sort of ability to be in nature. And I also really love reading in the morning and reflecting and journaling a little bit. But lately, my life has been just waking up and starting with coffee and like trying to delay clicking on the Zoom link again, you know?
Right.
So.
And one of the things we need from our leaders right now is guidance and mentorship and hope. And as we look into 2021 and beyond, how are you going to define professional success?
Well, with a lot of humility, and I think that professional success, we have tied that so often to title, position, salary, and I think we have learned that that is not, none of that matters. You can be a leader from anywhere, and you should be a leader from anywhere. I think personally, professional success is, do you have the opportunity to build connection in your workplace, to know people in your workplace and care for them? We spend more time at work than we do at home. Although with the pandemic shift, that has changed and blurred those boundaries. I think, you know, are you able to show up as your whole authentic self to work is a huge indicator of professional success. Do you feel purpose and meaning in your work? And I think you can create that no matter your role or title or position. I think it's a mindset, and it's a willingness and ability to have optimism and to think about how can I make this place that I'm in a better place. So as we look ahead, I think greater understanding and empathy for each other will be a huge part of professional success, and I also hope that it's about being greater than the sum of our parts, and what is that collective success that we can have together versus so focused on this myth of rugged individualism that we have learned is not real. You cannot go through a pandemic as a society alone. You have to do it together. And so let's redefine success for what does that mean for all of us, not just one of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always looked at the structure of the word community. You can't have community with a single person. Like, it takes multiple people to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, congratulations on being one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40. It is a pleasure to chat with you, as always.
It's an honor. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here with Paulina Ansack, one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40, and I look forward to getting to know her a little bit better over the next few minutes. What would be your elevator speech?
My name obviously is Paulina, and everything that I do, I want to do with a level of excellence and authenticity. It's really important to me to be who I am and to be who I am with everyone. So you know exactly what you're getting. And when I do whatever business it is that I'm involved in, I want to make sure that I do the absolute best job. In whatever the profession is, that is in my relationships with clients, vendors, friends, that's in my relationships with the community. And I am a realtor at Brandon Nelson Partners, and I'm a co-partner at Fairhaven Floors. And with both of those businesses, it is just crucial to me that people use us and have me and my brothers and my husband help them because we are excellent, because we do really try to do a good job. We want to make you feel like you're part of the family, and we want to be authentic. One of my little mottos is I want to treat everyone that I help and work with like I would want my mom to be treated. So it's really important to me to carry that through everything that I do in any business, any company, and any relationship.
So one of the things that we're doing at this point is just kind of a lightning round. What skill would you like to master?
What skill? Patience. Patience would be awesome because I like to get things done. I like to get them done well and fast, and you know, I can chill a little bit.
Yeah, that's efficiency. That's a skill too.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
exactly who I am right now. I remember sitting in my mom's room at her desk, organizing paper clips and paperwork, pretending I was working at an office, pretending I was making phone calls. And my dad owned a construction business, so I would go on job sites with him and was very involved with that. And I just imagined myself being in that role, and I am.
What moment has defined your life up to this point?
Our family went through a rough patch. And during that rough patch, my brother was a senior in high school, and he was on the wrestling team. He went to state for the second year in a row. And the entire match, the state championship, came down to his wrestling match against a guy he had lost to the year before. If he brought the championship home, it would have been the first time in 20 years that happened for Blaine. And it was the last match of the entire championship. And it was him and this kid. And he won. And the entire Tacoma Dome was cheering his name. And if people had known what was going on in the background,
Made it a little bit more special.
Oh, that moment just, if he could do that, then there's nothing that we couldn't do as a family.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for, reaching in a little bit there, for providing that little insight into who you are. How do you define, or how do you plan to define professional success into 2021?
I have essentially 3 principles that are really important to me. The first one is to be authentic and excellent in everything that I do. So obviously do a good job at what it is that you're doing. The second one is family. Family is the number one reason for everything that we do. And the third one, I met with this guy once, and he said something that has stuck with me. One hand up, one hand down. If you're if you're doing well, if you're succeeding, it's so crucial to bring people with you and to give back. So that is it.
Must have been someone intelligent.
I think you know the guy.
Paulina, thank you so much for joining me today, and congrats on being one of our 2020 Top 7 Under 40.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the entire chamber and everyone that's been involved in the process for taking the time during this pandemic to really focus on the community and the people that are, giving back and doing things here, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see you tonight. I'm Troy Wills from First Federal. I am the regional manager for Whatcom County, and I'm excited to be here tonight as your title sponsor, as I say, for this rad organization. It's such a pleasure. This is my first Zoom Gala event, so you might want to buckle up, giddy up, because I'm coming in hot, so put on your seatbelts. First Federal has been in the Whatcom market now for 5 years, and I feel so blessed and lucky to be able to be the sponsor of this event tonight and get to do this in Whatcom County. Some of you know that WIPS, I hold a special place in my heart. I joined WIPS in late 2007. I've been on the advisory council. I was even the chair at one time. And it just holds a real special place for me as I've grown up in WIPS. I have just really enjoyed every part of the people I've got to meet. So again, it's such a fun piece for me tonight as I've aged out of WIPS. And now I'm on the chamber board. So there's still hope for me. So I would certainly like to just say to all 7 of you nominees tonight, it was great to watch your video, listen to you, your heart, your soul, what speaks to you. So it was great, and you're all winners tonight, and you're part of this prestigious group of people that were ahead of you, that were nominated and are part of this group. So I'm so excited that we get to continue doing this. So I know you're ready for me to, and we'll do the drum roll. And our 2020 Young Professional of the Year goes to Heather Flaherty, the Executive Director of Chuckanut Health Foundation. And Heather, congratulations. If we were live right here, I'd give you a knuckle bump and probably even a hug. So absolutely. And again, congratulations to all of you that were nominated. It's outstanding.
Congratulations again, Heather. I was in between, so did you say a few words? Were you able to say a few words? No?
I can.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So sorry about that little bit of a delay there. So Heather, we would love to hear from you as our 2020 Young Professional of the Year.
Oh man, I just am really surprised and very honored, and just I think that anytime there's a success, it's never about one person, it's about the people around them. And it's just truly an honor to be in this cohort, and a huge congrats to all of you. And I think that the one thing I'd say is that it's amazing to live in Whatcom County, because everywhere you turn, there's pretty remarkable people. And there's so many people not even here tonight that are so deserving as well of recognition. And so I can't wait to celebrate with all of you in person, and in such a tough year to have this moment, just to be in community, even through Zoom, with each of you and with everyone watching, is just a true treasure. So thank you. And it's meaningful, and I will never forget the moment. And yeah, just thank you.
For being a part of this community, along with all of the top 7. Each of you are so amazing. And again, I said it earlier, it was truly my privilege and pleasure to get to know each of you a little bit. And so we wanted to keep with the traditions of the in-person event, and we have each of you an award that whenever you're actually have an office or a workspace that you can showcase that with your colleagues, just put it on your dinner table or on top of the TV or on the bookshelf right now to celebrate those that you live with. We want to have that showcasing each of you, and it's truly our pleasure to acknowledge each of you. We do want to say thank you to, again, I want to echo Olivia's thoughts, the amazing gift baskets that Allison put together for everybody. Those were amazing. So we want to thank you to all of you of the 7 that contributed to that, but everyone else. And we want to shout out Laser Point Awards, who produced the awards. We want to say thank you to Troy, us 2 original Whatcom Young Professional, OG whips, maybe. And we, of course, want to thank Science Plus, US Bank, Puget Sound Energy for sponsoring the event. For those of you that watching, and those of you top 7, each of the videos will be released probably next week, so you can share them on social media and in your email. Please share them. And I would say not for our sake, but for your sake. Your stories need to be told. Your voices matter. And I'm so thankful that we have the opportunity to amplify your voices and your causes and your businesses tonight. So, and to end the rest of the year too. So again, we're little ahead of schedule, which is awesome. Seems to be something that either happens in virtual or doesn't happen at all. So again, thanks for joining us. I'll give you back your evening in a little bit more time. And again, congratulations to all 7 of you.